Sweet. All right, guys, what's up? Welcoming here Elton to the podcast for the very first time.
Yeah.
When's the last time you sat down and did a video? Like, ever?
No, I don't think I've ever sat down for more than 2 minutes to ever do a video.
Wow. All right, so this is super outside of his comfort zone. What do you do for your channel? Let's just start out with that.
My channel is TFIL, which stands for the Bleep It List.
Nice.
A pun on a bucket list. And basically we have this gigantic 1,000-item agenda that we want to accomplish before, hopefully, I'm like 32, which gives me like 5 years to do the whole thing.
Perfect.
Some things more insane than others.
There you go.
And you've done a couple of them.
I've done quite a few, actually, now that we're living together. Yeah, by the way, if you guys don't know already, Elton is the roommate along with a couple other guys. But yeah, we're going to be talking about the whole idea of a bucket list today, which if you don't really know where that comes from, it's things you do before you kick the bucket, which is when you die. So a bunch of crazy stuff before you die. Lots of people do like skydiving, bungee jumping, things like that, which a lot of that you've already done, right?
Yeah, the ones you just named were some of the first ones we did.
Really?
Yeah.
So when did you start this?
We started it July 19th, 2016. That was the first day we ever went out and actually started it. We started on an RV driving around California for 35 days.
Oh my gosh. So it's just California stuff?
So we originally had a 30-day plan to go from San Diego to Vancouver, I think to Denver, and then kind of down and back like through Utah. Mm-hmm. And when living in a motorhome, like an RV, we finally realized like every hour you drive, there's something new to do. And we never made it north of San Francisco.
Wow, holy cow.
Ever. Like we would find like a random golf course, stop there. We find a random like super gnarly like trashy river, and we like, let's go here. That's, you know what I mean? And just, we never.
So this wasn't part of something that was all written down. It was kind of like, oh, you saw it and you just wanted to do it type of thing?
Yeah, like there is a list that is written down that I've never released.
Really?
And we do try and hit those points like every like 4 or 5 days.
Oh, wow.
And the original plan was like every 3, 4, or 5 days we'd try and hit a big marquee item and just do stuff along the way.
Wow, holy cow. So do you still have this physical list?
Yeah, I have it. It's on my computer. No one's seen it besides myself.
Wow, are you ever going to release that to the public?
We might. The only problem with releasing it is like some of the things like aren't actually probably ever going to happen.
Oh, really?
So it's kind of like I want them to. So I don't know about releasing it because I like kind of leaving it up in the air.
Well, it's like one of those things that you really want to happen, but probably isn't going to happen.
Like the number one thing on our list, my list, is to high five Brad Pitt. That's like number one. Is I want palm to palm, clean action with just the man I would go gay for.
Wow. All right. And so when that came across your mind, you're like, you know what? I'm going to film that and I'm going to put that to the whole world.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I want to do it, but I don't. It might be possible. Who knows? You know, if there's a movie premiere and I can just kind of break in and get on the red carpet and just high five that gorgeous man.
That gorgeous man. All right, well, that's pretty cool. So far, I think the craziest couple things that I've done with you have been trying to stay overnight in an abandoned mall, which is crazy, and our first video that we've ever done.
Yeah.
And then probably ice climbing. You made me climb a frozen waterfall in the middle of Utah. That was insane.
You did very well at that. I almost quit. I got halfway up and I wanted to quit, and you and Colby were like, nah, keep going.
We both almost quit, but we were like the people that were like, nah, you're going to regret it if you don't end up doing it, so just push on through.
That was gnarly.
That was probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
60 feet, frozen ice. So frozen ice as opposed to what?
All right, so obviously those are pretty cool, but you've been doing this much longer. What's the craziest thing you've done in your bucket list last 6 months, last 8 months?
We flew a helicopter.
Really? You got to fly it yourself?
Yeah, like straight up, we flew the helicopter.
That's awesome.
So basically there's 3 controls, and they let you take one at a time individually, and then based on how you're doing, you can do 2 at a time, and if you get it down pat, they let you do all 3.
Did you get to all 3?
I got to all 3 for like 1 minute. For 1 minute I got for all 3, and he was like, nope, taking it back. Because we started veering sideways, and it was like...
Have you ever flown anything before?
No, I've never even been in a helicopter.
Never even been in a helicopter, and the first time you go up there, you fly it.
7 minutes after taking off, I was flying it.
That's insane. Holy crap.
I mean, that was really fun though. That's a surreal feeling to do that.
So what's the worst thing that's happened during your bucket list experiences? Like most problematic type of thing?
The original trip was in an RV, a very sketchy RV, and you have like the driver's cabinet where the 2 seats are, right? There's a bed above, and then you have the whole living cabinet with like the dining and all that. And apparently when we rented it, we didn't know it'll separate. Like it wasn't bolted in properly.
Oh, what?
So if you hit a bump, the driver's section and the living section would just kind of go and separate. And
so your RV broke in half?
Yeah, so it would separate like that much, like literally about that much. But when you're going 60 miles an hour on a freeway, that much is like terrifying. You think it's gonna split apart. And we hit like a piece of like driftwood or something like in the road, and the thing went straight open and then slammed back shut. And we thought like that was it for us.
Dude, that would have been so scary.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. On a highway?
Yeah. That was like at the highest point of our trip too. So like we had 7 hours back home at that point. So we were just like, okay.
What was that day? What'd you do on that day?
That day was on our way to Yosemite to do Half Dome, which was like, that was gnarly. Half Dome.
That's one thing that's always been on my bucket list. Go to Yosemite and like climb up everything. Like that's like a beautiful area. That's awesome. All right, cool. Well then, what's one thing here in the near future that us 5 can do? Like we have this new house. We have told everyone that we're gonna do crazy things. We've already done stuff like overnight in a mall, bowling alley, all that type of stuff. Which, by the way, we're doing a lot of these overnight videos on his channel right now. So if you want, go check it out. Description below. But what's in the future the craziest thing that you haven't told us yet, that you have planned but we don't know?
That I'm doing with you?
Or anyone in the house?
Well, okay, so I'll just let you guys know this now. When we go to New Zealand, we're swimming with great white sharks. And there's no cages because they're not allowed in New Zealand.
What?
Yeah.
Is that, what? I didn't even know that swimming with sharks without a cage is allowed.
Yeah, well, so it's actually unethical to swim with sharks in a cage because of the way that they starve them and then bait them.
Oh, wow.
So that's why they're so aggressive when you're in a cage, is because they literally starve the area that they inhabit.
Oh, so
and
they
then
come towards you?
Yeah, so when the cages are there, they drop like fish in and like meat, and then that makes them super aggressive.
Oh my
But like a
God.
normal great white shark doesn't actually want to have anything to do with you if they have like a normal, reliable food source.
Okay, so I'm not gonna die on this New Zealand trip. Maybe. Okay.
But I'll be right there with you.
So if we're dying together.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's awesome. Well, hopefully you guys got inspired to maybe make a bucket list on your own. He's been doing this for almost a year now, so holy cow. We got this New Zealand trip we're doing right now, which is just insane. I can't wait for that type of stuff.
16 days of chaos.
Oh my God. I'm excited though. All right, if you guys want to check out Elton, all of his links will be in the description. Thank you very much for being on the podcast today. I will see you tomorrow. Peace.